Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs. Tonight I have a movie that I just watched on Netflix, and I wanted to jump on here and review it for you. But first, I have a little mini story to tell you. About 6 years ago, this guy that I worked with knew I was a writer, and and I also wrote some movie scripts and things like that. And he came to me, actually he called me, and said he had a dream where the story that he had, he thought would make a great movie. So he proceeded to tell me this whole plot for this story, and I was like, wow, that is really, really cool. So a few years after that, I was actually going to start writing a script for it and make a movie out of it, but I didn't have a budget to make this big budget film, so I was just going to try to make like the first half of it and then maybe raise money and make the rest of it. Now, the plot of this film is these two guys are in a bar, and one guy starts tempting the other guy with money, saying, hey, why don't you go over there and see if you can get this person to slap you? If so, I'll give you 50 bucks. Why don't you go over there and grab this person's butt? I'll give you $200 if you do that. Why don't you go over there and hit somebody? And the price keeps going up for the crazier things these people do. And then later on, it goes way up, and they start doing really insane things for gigantic money, for a lot of money they're giving these people. So I started watching this movie. It's called Cheap Thrills. That's the name of this film I'm reviewing tonight. And it starts out in a bar, and these two guys are sitting there, and they're like, hey, why don't you go over there and have that woman slap you? Why don't you go over there and try to grab that person's butt? The exact same plot that I came up with, or my friend came up with about 6 years ago, that I was going to make into a film. I was going to film the first half of it in this bar where these two guys are doing this, betting, and I never got around to doing it. That's this movie. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. This is the movie that I wanted to make. And it's so weird. Like the first half of the film in the bar, that was almost exactly what we were coming up with the ideas. And I almost turned it off because it made me so angry. I'm like, okay, did somebody steal my idea or steal this other guy's idea? Or, because I talked to several people about this, which is a big mistake, I guess. But, it's just to watch something that you wanted to do, that you had the whole idea for, and it's almost a carbon copy of what you wanted to do, is really frustrating. But, that said, I watched this whole film, and as much as I wanted to hate the film, I absolutely loved it. This is a great film. Now, like I said, that's the plot. Basically, it changed a little bit from what I was doing. What I was doing is the two guys were betting. But in this film, which makes sense, is they introduce a rich guy and his wife, whose birthday it was. And the rich guy is giving these other two guys money to do things, and the one guy is really desperate for money. He just got fired, he has a kid, he has rent to be paid, and all that makes absolutely perfect sense and a great plot point for this film. The other guy in the film, he's sort of like not like a hitman, but he gets paid, to go out and threaten other people to get their money back or whatever. And he also needed money, so these were two perfect candidates to put through this crazy game that they're playing. Now, from beginning to end, I was hooked for the film. Not just because, it's something that I wanted to do, but because the movie is that good. The acting in this film is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. These are all the characters. You believe these characters. You believe this guy is going through all this bad stuff that's happening in his life. And the other guy that he meets is an old friend of his that he hasn't seen in 5 years. And he's also an excellent actor. And, just fantastic acting. The rich guy, even him, awesome. So as the movie progresses, I'm not giving any spoilers or anything away here, but as it progresses, he makes them start doing weirder stuff, weirder and weirder things, until it gets to a point where it becomes really twisted, really, really twisted. Now, as you know, I love horror films. I mean, I don't have a problem with watching horror movies. I've seen some really bad, horrible stuff. But towards the end of this movie, it gets really bad. So bad, I actually fast-forwarded through a scene that I didn't even want to watch because It was so terrible, and I don't want to give it away, but it, well, actually I'm not even going to say anything about it. It was just, oh, it was bad. I couldn't even watch it. But if you like that kind of stuff, you will love this movie. And, you know, it doesn't bother me to watch that stuff, but sometimes, like I said, even for me, it gets too much, and I just couldn't watch a scene in there. Now, if you want to know what scene it is, I will tell you. If you've already watched the movie, I'll tell you after I give the rating, like towards the ending of it, so you're not wondering what's happening or if it's something that you want to watch. So I will tell you a big spoiler alert towards the end of this video before I say it, so you can turn it off or not want to watch it, or come back and watch it after I tell it to you. So anyway, and it's one of those films never heard of until it got on Netflix, and I read the description and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. I was fully expecting to turn it off after 15 minutes, and no, I watched it all to the end and I just loved it. So Cheap Thrills for me gets a 5 out of 5. I liked it that much. It was so good. So it's a short review. I just wanted to jump on here and tell you, if you have Netflix and you see this pop up, and if you like horror films, if you like twisted movies, don't pass this one up. Watch it. You will really, really enjoy it. So I hope you really, really enjoyed this review, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, a few things here, which I rarely ever talk about, is we do have these Box Office Maniacs shirts for sale. If you want one, I'll put a link in below if you want to just pick one up. I mean, you don't have to, but we do sell them, and we've never even mentioned that for whatever reason. And we also have a Facebook page, which we also very rarely mention. So all that stuff I'm going to start putting down in the description box. On the Facebook page, we put movie trailers. We write stuff about movies. We don't really review stuff over there. We do it here, but over there is all the other information that we don't put here. So hopefully you jump over the Facebook page or jump over this my shirt shop and pick up Box Office Maniac shirts. Hopefully we're going to make some more of these in different designs and whatnot. But anyway, okay, here we go. Spoiler time! Spoilers! If you want to watch this movie, don't watch the rest of the video. Turn it off now. And I really love dogs. I've had dogs my whole life, so I'm very much a big dog person. And I don't like seeing dogs hurt or tortured in movies. And when it comes to that, that's my breaking point. I'll turn it off. I won't watch that. And that's pretty much what happened in this film. Is not only a dog is killed in the film, by accident anyway, but the dog is killed. Then one of the last things that they have these people do is a guy takes the dead dog, he puts him in the oven, he cooks the dog, and then he makes the other guy eat the dog. That is my breaking point. I can't watch that. I mean, I can watch somebody's head explode, I can watch somebody get their intestines ripped out, I can watch somebody eat somebody else's brains, but when it comes to, cooking and eating a dog, even if they didn't kill it intentionally, that's my breaking point. I can't watch stuff like that. So you can call me a wimp or you can call me whatever, but that's my breaking point. I ran it through that little scene, even though I know it was happening. I didn't watch it, but that was, to me, really twisted, and I just could not watch that. So that was, if you don't have a problem with that, you can go ahead and watch it if you want. But yeah, that's the only scene I ran it through because I was like, no, I can't watch that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, movie's outstanding, and you'll love it. So hopefully you liked this review, and hopefully I didn't spoil anything. You watched it before I spoiled it for you. And I'll see you next time on Box Office Maniacs.